Hello, everybody. Welcome to another deep dive episode. Today, we're talking Cloverfield, aka American Godzilla, because Godzilla, of course, is owned by Japan. So we had to make our American version. And here we are with Cloverfield. First, let me say hello to my pal, partner in crime, Mr. Nick Arcana. How's your
You
day
do,
going, sir? How's your
you
week
do
going?
know there is an American-made Godzilla movie, right?
Yeah, and everybody hated it. You talking about the Matthew Broderick version?
Yeah.
Because Godzilla is so small in that movie. They made him
Small plus apparently it births raptors.
Yeah, they made him I think literally if you just made him bigger, I think the audience now, I'll say it's a fun popcorn movie, so there's some good stuff in that one, but you wanna see Godzilla, like, above the buildings, like, destroying everything. You don't wanna see him, like he seemed like a
Just the size of a T-Rex.
yeah.
Maybe a little bigger, but and plus I don't even think it has its atomic ray breath.
Yeah, they didn't really I imagine, like, actual real Godzilla fans probably just hate that movie. They're like,
Probably.
"How dare you?" It'd be like, you get, like, a really good pizza recipe from, like, Italy, and then, like, you make, like, a Little Caesars pizza. I like Little Caesars, but I feel it's probably disrespectful to, like, the original concept of pizza or lasagna or whatever, like, whatever we do with, like, all the foods, so but I don't hate it, though. It's a fun popcorn movie, but that said, there's 2 things going on. There's a Godzilla movie and there's found footage. Now, I guess we can start by talking about our feelings about found footage in general. Um, to me, it's always hit or miss. There's some found footage movies I like.
Blair
I
Witch.
I do like Blair Witch. I like Chronicle, the superhero one, a lot. That's one I want to review sometime soon.
Mm.
Um, but then, like at a certain point, they started ODing, and like it became a whole genre where there were so many found footage films, and none of them, most of them, we got like VHS and stuff, but most of them feel like probably not memorable per se.
Yeah, I mean I've watched the first two VHSs. They're pretty good. But that's also mixed anthology with found footage, with some great effects in those two as well. I've also watched the movies, The Houses That October Built.
See, I've never even heard of that.
I believe it's a dual. It's a two-part movie series, and it's okay. It's people going around to different haunted houses trying to find extreme haunts,
Mm.
and of course, they're being hunted down by people who want to put them through extreme haunts.
Mm.
So it's that one is definitely a lot. There's a few good amount of boring scenes in there, but there's also a good amount of creep in there because you got a bunch these people wearing masks just constantly following them. As you said, hit or miss. It's just how it happens that that particular movie series is both hit and miss.
Isn't the movie have you seen the movie Creep? Isn't that found footage too, I believe?
Yes, both of them are,
Those were
along
actually
with
pretty
the creep tapes.
those were decent too, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but again, that's because of the in those movies. It's definitely the acting.
Mm.
If you didn't get behind the main character as the creep, you are not going to enjoy that movie at all.
Yeah, I think when you see a found footage, I think the big thing is it depends on, okay, is there a story reason for it to do found footage, or can you say just like, "Oh, this is probably just this is the most low budget way this is an excuse to make use, like, a low budget for the movie." Like, we can do found footage and make that part of the story, but it's just basically for, like they're probably cutting the budget in half by doing that, so it's, like, a cheap way to make the movie versus, like, "Oh, this is actually, like, a fun part of the story, the found footage." Like, Blair Witch makes sense in the story that it's found footage because it's, like, 3 people doing, like, a project with their basic home video camera.
Yeah,
So
like I said, House is October built. I mean, they're trying to be realistic, so I guess it makes sense. Could have been better as a regular styled movie. VHS, I think it's the definitely needed the found footage because I get the feeling that it's better for the effects in this, and that's what I feel like with this movie. If they
yeah.
try to do more of a stylized style movie, they probably wouldn't have the budget for the effects that this movie actually had.
Yeah, there's so mostly found footage seems to go more with the horror genre, but there's 2 examples, this movie and I think Chronicle, which is probably the only found footage superhero film, and this one probably the idea here is, like, big scale monster taking over the city, but found footage. So, apparently the budget's about $25,000,000. It's interesting because yeah, like, built in, if you're just having one character with a camera, then you're right, there wouldn't be that many big shots of the monster. It'd be like, okay, whatever he's seeing. So it's like that gives you an excuse to, like, show just the tail of the monster or show, like, the eye in one scene or show, like, little parts. And then, even the destruction can be all kinda small scale, even though you imagine, like, big things are happening in the city, a lot of destruction's happening. You're only seeing what the character's seeing with his camera, so it gives you an excuse to, like, not necessarily have to, like, do $100 million budget. Um, so yeah, so it's an interesting idea. Um, Now, I think we both agree that with found footage, there's a couple things. The problems with found footage is a couple things. First of all, a lot of the audience is just not gonna like characters running and the camera shaking and stuff. It's not easy on the eyes. It is like
No.
frantic and kind of not like full blown seizure inducing, but it is kind of like it's just not a fun to watch. Especially in this movie, there's a lot of times characters are running, cameras shaking up and down. You're not getting a clear vision of what's going on. So it's not like user friendly, to be honest, for like an action movie to be like found footage. It is kind of off putting, I can see, right? So that's one problem with it. Um,
And I can give you an example of that in this movie besides just the running. The very opening scene where the guy is walking towards the window to look outside at Manhattan. And I was already getting motion sick because this guy could, I guess he was having a hand seizure. I don't
yeah,
know what was going on, but it was shaking so much. I almost turned the movie off just to get my bearings.
yeah, yeah. So it's a rough. You kind of know going into found footage. I guess like that's the thing. Like maybe people that don't like the genre probably are like they're starting with that place of just like I don't want to watch like a shaky camera, awkward movements. It's a weird experience to watch it. So that's one thing. The other thing, I think probably this will get into our main criticism of the movie. Found footage really does
Need
you're
to get
making it
characters.
you're making it small scale and you're making it more emphasis on the characters because it's like when you read a book, there's like the first person point of view. It's like your narrator is kind of the one holding the camera and you're really focused on the character. It feels like you're hanging out with them, spending time with them basically. It's more personable than like, a normal film, right? So that's the thing too. It's like the characters and the first 10 minutes of this movie, like okay, if you didn't know this is a monster movie and you just were like, okay, showing a friend and like I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie, we're just going to watch it. The first 10 minutes spending time with the characters might be kind of insufferable. It might be like, who are these douchebags that I don't like? Why am I watching like a party movie that doesn't have any comedy, not likable characters? So the first 10 minutes, I think the idea might have been like, hey, let's make them fall in love with the characters.
Well, let's face it. It's really the first 15 minutes for me because
Yeah.
the action doesn't start until the 18 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
So the first 15 minutes for me, first you get the brother who's pushing his work onto the main guy's best friend, who's played by T.J. Miller, nonetheless. Uh,
That would be
this
Hunt,
guy's been
right?
in
So,
this
yeah.
guy's been in better movies, and I'm like, your acting is so much better than what you are portraying right here, bud.
I think there might have been a thing where he got more famous after this movie. He went on to do stuff where he's much more famous now than he was in this
Let's see,
movie.
she's out of my league. Except again, he was just a side character, but he was funny in that. He was also in all the Deadpool movies except for three.
And he's actually, I mean, in my research, it showed that he's actually also a stand-up comedian. And one of the reasons they cast him was they wanted the person behind the camera to be able to do improv lines, to make things kind of light and funny. And going back to like, when it's the dude holding the camera is kind of our narrator, that's one part where the movie loses me a little bit is like, I wish I was more on board with his character, but it's the worst thing. It's like not only am I not like I don't find him to be likable, but it goes in the territory of like, oh, this dude's annoying. Like I don't the sound of his voice is annoying me, like, by halfway through the movie, and that's, like, a personal thing, and maybe other people are like, "Yeah, he's a great character, he's fun," but for me, he's just, like, annoying, like, I'm like, I would have rather any of the other characters been the ones holding the camera and narrating than getting his sort of commentary about what's happening.
So
So that's
overall,
yeah.
there's only one likable character, in my opinion, in this movie. Because, and I'll even tell you, when you get the brother, both the brothers and the friend on the fire escape talking, for one, the writing feels off to me. Maybe I just misheard it, or maybe the writing, maybe the writing got a continuity error big time. I mean, you just mentioned probably an improv issue, but you get the brother telling Rob, "Hey, she's out of your league, man. She wants nothing to do with you." And then 5 seconds later, she's all into you.
Yeah, the brother, I mean, I if he's trying to give, like, a motivational pep talk, I don't know. Within 10 well, you're right, within 20 seconds, it's like, "Look, she's way out of your league, alright? You have no chance here." And then, like, within 10 seconds, like, she's head over she's so into you. I'm like, "What mixed message, terrible what kind of motivational nonsense?" So, yeah, if I'm the main dude, I'm like, "What the hell are you trying to say to me?" Like,
And
are
he
you
said,
are you saying I should go after her or that I should let her go 'cause she's out of my league? I don't understand.
and also let's not throw. Let's go ahead and throw that girl under the bus a little. I know she's only in it for like 5 seconds of the movie, but
Beth.
yeah, she cheats on her boyfriend with this guy. So obviously she must be into him. But there's also the fact that she goes on a full day long date that we get snippets of throughout the movie, which honestly takes me out of the movie because it goes from dark, depressing monster to this alleged happy go lucky. Here's your intermission before we get back to the horror.
So it's established that they did have a moment together, a perfect day. But, what I'll say about her, Beth, the character, I've been in this situation one time before. So this exact scenario happened to me, so it did hit me in the chest a little bit. So I'll describe, and it's kind of like a cardinal s not a cardinal sin, but it's just being very inconsiderate.
So you were the other man?
No, I was the main guy here.
Oh, yeah, the
What
main
I
guy was the other man. She had a boyfriend.
but I don't think it's actually I don't think it's for that the time that she was seeing the main dude that she was also with the other dude. The other dude might be a new boyfriend. We don't know that actually. I'm assuming he probably is a new boyfriend.
No, because Lily even mentioned, yeah, the last month they got together. Pretty sure, and they even knew who this guy was because like you brought him here, and remember these two did not speak for a whole month after that. So
No,
when
no,
he
no,
said,
no.
"Oh, you brought him here," I'm assuming that definitely means she was already with him.
No, 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 no. She said when she's saying you got to last month, she's talking about the main dude and Beth, right?
Yeah,
They got to last month. But there's nothing said at all about how
he
long
ghosted her.
but there's been nothing said at all in point about how long she's been seeing the new dude. So the new dude could have been either before that month before or recent.
From
Um,
the sounds of some of the conversation, I think the boyfriend was already there.
You'd have to point me to because like, I don't remember any talk about the boyfriend thing at all. It was more just like,
Well, it was also in that 15 minutes of
uh,
bullshittery.
uh, from what presented, I'm gonna assume that after he ghosted her, just she recently started dating this new dude, and that's fine. My complaint about her is that okay, let's set the table. This is main dude Rob, right?
Yeah,
This is his going away party. He's going to Japan, taking on a new job opportunity. Probably if he went there, would have got killed by Godzilla in Japan also. But that's that's besides the point. He's leaving going away party for the girl Beth. It's like you can come to the party. Now, first of all, there's all this like tension between you two. You've had this thing, you haven't talked. So there's all this unfinished business. You can come to the party, Beth, and say goodbye. But the one thing you cannot do is bring your boyfriend to this party. Because the second they walk in the door, you've ruined Rob's night. He's immediately just like, F my entire life, seeing her come in with the boyfriend. If you're Beth, you got to be a little bit more like, okay, I'm going to his going away party. Why do I wanna ruin his night by showing up with a guy?
I,
That made me because 'cause I've been that situation before, that made me not like her as much because I'm just like, just why are you bringing the boyfriend? Like,
well, to be honest with you, from what it sounds like, I don't know why she went in the first place. Because, like I said, after that perfect day, it's from what I'm hearing throughout the party, it sounds like he ghosted her after that. He did not contact her for that whole month.
So basically, my take is that the rest of his friends, like his brother, Lily, Marlena, they're all also friends with Beth. So it's like they're in like a thing where it's like they're friends with her too. So they invited her and said, "Hey, he's leaving. Come." And I guess she felt like a thing of something. But I kind of agree with you. Like if I'm her, if I'm gonna see him again, I want to see him one on one so we can talk about things, which eventually he drags her the whole way to do. But I mean, not stupid, but inconsiderate you have to be like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna show up with my boyfriend and say bye." It's like, you're gonna, like unless Rob has a new girlfriend, you're gonna pretty much destroy his night by doing that. So that made me not really think that much of her. The brother just seems like a jerk, like, I don't know, something about his, like, he seems like, and especially, like, when things start going down, this dude tries to be the leader of everything, like, so quick, take command of everything. I'm just like, "Okay, guy, like, this seems like a little bit too strong a personality for me." And then Marlena, the girl that Hud is trying to talk to,
Right.
she's mean as hell to him. As soon as he just says anything about starting a conversation, she's like, I have to be anywhere but here. I'm going across the room." It's
Well, the
like,
weird,
gee, that seemed like over the top, like, not even real life. Like, that would never, I don't think that would happen in real life where someone would just be like, literally just like, you're not worth me talking to. I'm gonna go across the room. Like, that's over the top, like, unlikable. So
well, to be fair, I can actually believe it, but at the same time, Melania, Marshala, whatever her damn name is,
Marlena.
Marlena, is that
Yeah.
her damn name?
Yeah.
Okay, Marlena. So another thing is she's not really friends.
Mashayna.
Marshana. She's not
But
really friends with Rob or them. I think she only said she's there because Lily invited her, and that was it.
yeah.
Because she even mentioned I've only seen Rob when I was drunk. Uh, and let's also face it, HUD was being a little abrasive when it comes to trying to talk to her, especially focusing a camera dead to her face. And she said she didn't want to be on camera. Let's
A
face it,
after
be
that
nicer.
after that though, like, he was just making normal small talk, I feel like. She's
With the
not hang
camera still in her face.
She doesn't have any friends at the party. She'd rather go walk and stand by herself in the corner, it seems, than talk to him. I'm just saying,
Come on, bro.
I think there's a better way to do it than just like, "Oh, I have to go over there." It just seemed like a diss, like crazy. I'm just saying, they could have done a way better job, as we said, of making all the characters more likable. Um, I don't, the main dude, I don't actually have a problem with him either. Um,
I do.
but the only problem I
He's
say with him is,
stupid.
well, the one thing I would say is that, like, again, like, his brother gave him the worst pep talk ever, but if I was his brother, I would've told him, like, "Hey, before you go to Japan, why don't you try to actually see what's going on with the girl of your dreams, apparently, a girl that you're so in love with. Why would you go to a different country without trying to solve that first?" So
Well,
I would give him a normal pep talk, which makes sense, and not whatever the hell the brother was saying,
well,
so
that would make sense. But for some reason, his whole reason of ghosting her, and he tells her this in the little hallway that we hear, is because he already knew he was moving away. He didn't want those feelings, I guess, get stronger, and then he leaves to where they're both. I'm like, take her with you. She would have came with you.
maybe not. I
Well,
don't
then she's not
I
the girl of his dreams.
no, I mean, they just but keep in mind, that day they had to go, that's like the start of them dating. That's the first time they've actually got together. They're not
From what it
married.
sounds like, that was the only time.
Yeah, you don't, so at that point, it's like a one night stand, basically. I don't know if that's like a few weeks the next day, like, "Move with me to Japan." "Yes, let's go to Japan." I think
If
that's
it
probably
was
a that
allegedly the perfect day, if he was that into her and he
no,
knew, because that's why he ghosted
wait,
her
wait,
because
wait,
he
wait, wait, wait.
knew.
Wait, the other thing is more likely and more reasonable, is, like, just him himself, don't go to Japan, stay there. His whole
Oh,
family
yeah.
and his whole family and friends are already there. This is a job he's taking. I mean, is he getting fired if he doesn't take like, I don't like, his company sent him there, but I'm like, can he tell his company, like, "Hey, I have this, the reason I have to stay here," or try to postpone and be like, "Hey, spend 6 months or a year with her, get married, and then as your wife, you can be like, "Hey, let's go to Japan." But it just seems like, he's running away from her to Japan. I know he wants to see Godzilla, but I mean, luckily for him, he's gonna now, all that said, this is all what I'm getting out of the way basically is the stuff I don't like about the movie early on. I'm putting it on the table. I would have liked Beth and the guy more if you can still have HUD with a camera, right? But just those 3 characters, or even better, have Lily hold the camera since she's more likable.
Yeah.
But then the whole movie to me should be following Beth and Rob together going through this with all the tension of what happened before. And by the end, I'm so invested in their relationship that I actually want to see them survive. That versus, but the movie does character wise a dumb mistake of just like separating them for most of the movie. And then when they get to back to the at the end, it's like you almost don't care because you're like, I didn't see enough of them together to actually get connected to their relationship.
Can we point out how fast she got back to her apartment? Like she perfected the damn teleportation device from The Fly, and she has one at her bedroom. Because when they finally find her, one, it feels like almost immediately, like 5 minutes after she leaves, they have that little pep talk, and then the monster attacks. You're telling me within that amount of time, it took her to get from wherever they were at to Midtown, get showered, get dressed into her PJs, was 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes.
Horportation, baby. That's all we can. Hey, listen. What? Hey, I will explain this. Maybe it's a city because what's the most horportation movie we know of?
Oh gosh.
Jason takes Manhattan. Manhattan is the source of horportation,
I
so it
see.
makes sense that it comes back here. So,
Except the monster is not the one doing it. It's this random girl who, let's face it,
hey, she brought a boyfriend to the dude's going away party. She has monster characteristics in her personality. All right, she's a romantic monster. All right.
but let's face it. As a potential for a one night stand, I don't care how attached you are to this person. For just a one night stand person, it makes no sense that Rob would prioritize trying to find her against this monster ridden Manhattan.
So that's why I think that there's 2 things. I think that there's kind of there's a throwaway line, I guess. You're supposed to take a lot from it, from him saying basically, I think the way the brother says, "Oh, you've been in love with your entire life," kind of thing. So there's that. But I do think that probably what you could do is you could have done, look, 'cause again, if you're not going to do the what I'm saying, basically keep them together through the movie and you build that where you actually build a connection to them. You do that, or the other thing is they're already a couple, and at the beginning you just see that they are everything's perfect. They're madly in love. Everything's perfect. And then for some reason, she just has to happen to go across town to do something. And now this happens. Because if it's your wife or something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to go. She has to go to the office real quick to get something from her job. And then this happens. The reaction then is, yes, I'm going to go get my actual whatever.
Yes.
Again, easy writing thing you could do. But you're right. Where things end up, they end off in a way of just like, well, she's like, well, good luck with your life. Hey, good luck with your life. I'm gonna go with my new boyfriend and leave. That makes it less believable, but I'll say that I understand maybe once he loses his brother, then maybe it's like, well, the only other person I care about now is her. So maybe there's more of that. I mean, I don't know if we really care that much about HUD and Lily. So at that point, your mind may turn into like, I think we don't know if his brother was because his brother was at that point basically like leading the entire damn civilization across the bridge, like, trying to be in charge of everything. So if his brother was, like, there still, his brother might have been like, "Hey, dude, like, we'll get through it. Let's go." And he might have just
Just
went
get
with
the
him.
hell out of here and we can fight another day.
I don't know if his brother would have been like, "Yeah, let's go back for your girl."
Mm-mm.
He was probably gonna be like, "Let's go," and Lily was gonna go with him then be like, so you have them together being like, "Yeah, let's go. She left you anyways." Once the brother's gone, it does actually really at that point probably flipping his brain like, well, I don't care about any of these people except her at this point, so I might as well. So
See,
then I believe it. So it makes sense
see,
that
and
that's
that's
true.
weird because Lily is his sister-in-law, which
That doesn't mean that you're like
so hold on.
some of those
Back
relationships
in the old days,
are transactional. So
back in the old days, once your brother dies, it is up to you uh, as the other brother to now marry your brother's wife so she stays in the family.
are you endorsing that? As sounding does that sound? Hey, look, from the second all that happens, he don't give a damn. If nothing else, Lily, who has no connection now, goes above and beyond to like support them and stay with the group, going back with them to get Beth. When the entire time Lily could have just been like, okay, my fiance is gone. You know, I can just go and do my own thing. She still treats him like a brother afterwards. I think he's just one track mind about what's her face.
Also, I will mention how much I probably was not paying attention to the whole beginning of the movie because the very first scene, obviously, we get Rob with Beth. Now, I was already mentioning why is this woman waking up with a full face of makeup, and it's not like smudge, like she just never took it off and went to bed. No, it's like she literally got up, put it on, got back in bed.
Well, that's probably what happened. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm sitting there like, is this supposed to be our version of no makeup? Is a full face of makeup? And then we start seeing Lily going through town, and I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, wait a minute, how did she get darker? Did she just get a spray tan? Is that their version of makeup? She gets a spray tan? I didn't even put two and two together until after a certain point that was a different person.
I don't know. Unfortunately, this specific thing says more negative about you than the movie. This is you. This is you needing to pay attention more. You were like, "Oh, that's the same character, right?" What?
I'm sitting there
Uh,
like, how did she just put on spray tan and that's their version of makeup for this movie?
you're like, "Yo, the lighting is really off in this movie, man. The lighting is really changing how I see these people,
Well,
man."
it's really because another thing I did not pay attention to was the dates at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously, when we see Lily, she's preparing for Rob's party.
Mhm.
So the dates all say like May, but the time when you see Rob with Beth, it says April. I wasn't paying attention to that. So for some reason, I was thinking it was all the same time because we start off in day. It's still daylight when we
Yeah.
see Lily. It feels like we're just going through that one day. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
The the party stuff, I think, could have been cut down in half, basically. You probably could have cut that half down. All that said, so I'm getting out of the way of the stuff I don't like because I think it's like I think the mixed bag part of the movie to me is just that spending time with these characters. Because again, I find HUD to be annoying. The brother, I mean, if the brother had been more likable when he dies on the bridge, I'd be like, "Damn, man." Instead, I was like, "Yeah, there goes the brother." And if anything, a slight smile creeped up in my face. A twinge of a yeah. Um, yeah, I don't care about the character per se. Now, that said, what I like about the movie is short. When you take away the credits, the movie's only 80 minutes long. So once we get through the party stuff, which we can say is like 15 minutes, right?
18.
For the most part, I think now, if you're cool with the found footage shaky cam stuff, you're getting 1 hour of basically just fast-paced action, nonstop activity. There's nothing boring in the last hour. It's just all straightforward action with all cool effects mostly. The movie is like if you go into the idea of you like monster movies, then once the action starts, there's a lot of cool stuff going on because one thing is it's kind of like the Jeepers Creepers thing where the first half is more interesting because you don't see what the monster is. With monster movies, if you got too much of Clover early on, it kind of kills the mystery. So part of the good thing about the found footage is that early on, you have to use your imagination. We're only seeing little hints of what the hell this thing could be, or how big it is. I mean, I have no idea. Um, But, okay, I should first talk about some of the it's also a thing too where it's like the lore and the ideas behind the monster is more interesting than the movie itself.
Can we
You
talk about the lore of this supposed unbreakable camera? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
this
This camera
camera goes through some shit.
yeah,
It has an amazing battery. Okay, I've
yeah,
never seen a camera with like 12 hours of battery life.
yeah.
Well, and also let's talk about the memory card. I'm guessing it was just wiped for this.
Yeah, it's funny. I wonder if so, I mean, it starts off with basically saying, like, the military found this video and now they're whatever.
Right.
I wonder if they, like, fast forward through all the party stuff. They're like, "I'm not watching this episode of One Tree Hill before we get to the monster," so
See, it also it that's the other thing about these. It says the military found this. They put it all together for a feature thing to warn everybody. I'm guessing. I'm like, why show us the party stuff if that's the case? Why did you intersplice Rob and Beth's date if that's the case?
Oh, yeah.
Like it
Well
makes more sense that it would go straight to when the Statue of Liberty's head gets thrown through Manhattan.
well, the other thing too is that in terms of believability, I do imagine someone like HUD being like, "Okay, I'm gonna film as much as possible because on the other end, this is all gonna go viral, and I'm gonna probably be like a millionaire because I'm gonna have the footage of the monster and all this stuff, and the whole world's gonna wanna see it, and I'm gonna be famous." I understand that perspective, but the movie has a lot of crisis situations that come right at HUD, right? I have to believe that at certain points, no matter how committed he is to the camera, that camera's going down for a minute as he's actually being attacked by things or things are happening. I just think there'll be moments where he would put the camera down, and so especially, like, sort of private moments, like in the subway, there's no reason for him to be filming his friends consoling each other in the subway, right? So there's, like, the believability of, like, at every like, when the military first encounters them, would he really not put the camera down at that point? Or the military wouldn't be like, "Put that damn camera down?" So it's like, the believability sometimes goes off with like, okay, would he really be that committed to at every single moment, monster looking at him, spiders attacking him, military, everything, still like having a perfectly good frame shot of the camera? Ah, probably
Well,
not.
well, there's
But
also the fact that that camera, the lens never cracks once.
it's a great camera.
I swear, I want that camera. I bet if I could punch my dash cam right now, it would be like a whole spider web crack right now.
I do want that camera. Now, did you pick up on the okay? So as I talk about the origin of the monster, I got to trace back at the very end. The very last thing is they cut back to the footage of Rob and Beth from their day from the month previous.
Hmm.
Um, Famously, most people know about this. In the background, you see something falling from the sky into the water. So it's like a Easter egg type of thing. It's like just watching it, you really wouldn't see it without really paying attention to the background. But something comes through the sky down into the water, and there was always theories of what that means. So originally, before this was explained, people thought, okay, maybe this was an alien, and that's like the thing arriving into the water from the sky, and like the actual alien itself, something like that, or a meteor or something, right? Um, in canon, what it is it's a Japanese satellite. It's a satellite actually hitting the water. So there's a after the movie came out, the movie doesn't explain shit basically, but after the movie came out, there was comic books, there was a lot of lore, manga, all this stuff that kind of went to like the background and explained it more. So, okay, first thing, Clover is a sea monster originated from Earth. It's not an alien.
It's a sea
So
monster.
it's from the water. There's even a video that breaks on YouTube how like the way it moves and certain properties align it more with like sea creatures than anything else.
Huh.
Um,
I was
and
I want to put that together.
And also the size of it is the idea that when you get deep into the ocean's so deep that anything the size of anything could be down there because the ocean goes so deep that you could have a gigantic whatever type monster down there and you would never know with how deep the ocean goes. So there's that too. Okay. So it is a sea monster, basically, essentially.
Mm,
Uh, so apparently there's a couple things there, but there's 2 different things. One thing is that there's a Japanese company that makes slushies. Um,
lucky.
slushies. So
Oh,
think of the
the
best
root of all evil, man.
think of a sweet icy you get at the movie theater, the blue raspberry slushy icy, right?
Code red slushy.
Yeah. So, this is one canon. I don't know if this is confirmed, but the idea is that this Japanese company, for some reason, they were drilling down there in the ocean, and they found something down there, some secret thing
The
that
slushy company.
the slushy company, they found something there that actually could make their slushies taste better. So they've been using this thing they found in the ocean, some ingredient that makes them the best-selling slushy thing in the world. It's like they've added crack to their slushies in the form of
Who
this thing from the water.
whose canon is this? There's no way from the movie we get that it can have this ridiculous ass canon to it.
I don't think I mean, it's a thing, but well, there's another thing too, but we'll first go with this idea. So the slushy company, they're drilling down there to keep getting this stuff basically, and that's when they inadvertently
Release
drill
Clover.
drill into the wrong damn thing and wake up the monster pretty much. So that goes with now the irony is that with this is that I think this is what ties together is that the company that's doing this is the company that Rob is going to work for in Japan.
Uh,
So he's like he's part of the company that this is like that's that. So that's where it ties together.
How powerful is this damn slushy company that they apparently are import? It's a slushy company. How are they importing a damn worker from America into this? Is this the? Are we sure this isn't just something from the Yakuza? The Yakuza. This is Yakuza's version of slushies.
I don't know. It takes more reading that I've done. So the other thing, which actually maybe makes more sense, I guess, is that the Japanese satellite that came from the sky that goes into the water, and then that actually alerts the Japanese government or something to something down there, and then they go down there to drill something. They build an oil thing, they're under the guise of building an oil something in the water, but what they're really doing is actually digging down there to find more information about what the satellite picked up on, and then they actually, with their drilling, they awaken Clover, and then Clover comes up. So something it's all tied to something with this with the Japanese government or a Japanese company. Someone's drilling down there in the water and awaken the monster. Um,
Makes that one makes a lot more sense than
yeah.
a damn slushy company.
I gotta send you the link to the slushy stuff though. It is funny though. It's just like something so innocent like a slushy company
Ha-
dooms the world. So
No, I don't want to talk about the slushy company. Okay, how
yeah.
do they have
Yeah.
enough money to actually build a submarine that has this kind of technology to drill into the crevices to get this goo that I'm assuming is actually part of Clover?
Look, think of imagine the best selling slushy company in the world though. Like if you are number one in the world in slushies, you're bringing in billions of dollars, my friend.
You know what would make more sense? Because you know how Clover had the little stuff on its head, right? That seemed to pulsate when we finally see its face close up. It would have made. I would understand it more if maybe one of those just didn't actually inhale. Like maybe that was what they were drilling into was its whatever that thing was.
Yeah. And
But
and also it's following the idea. Remember in the thing, right? The thing was buried in the ice, right?
right,
And then something awoke in it, and then whatever. It's kind of the idea of like it's creepy, but it's probably true. For all we know, down bottom of the ocean, deep down, there is some crazy monster that is just sleeping. Or
there's probably still megalodons down there. Okay,
yeah, oh yeah, 100%. So someone in the comments, if you are a Cloverfield fan, give us the rundown of what the actual canon is because I've read different things there with that.
it
So
ain't that slushy company. Because I won't lie, I heard something about the movie being like this creature is actually something about government
yeah,
testing.
the slushy thing, I'm telling you, there's legs there. I'm not making this up. This is like a real thing. I gotta send the information to you, but
How much money how much slushies do they need to sell to get that kind of equipment to do it.
It's not as much as you're thinking. It's like if they're a $1 billion company, then they can drill in the ocean. There's no question.
This sounds like a Yakuza damn operation.
Imagine if in the ocean you found some sweetener that was like, "Whoa, we can make our slushies taste better than anything ever." And it's only in the ocean though, so you have to keep drilling to get more of it. You're gonna keep drilling and get as much of that as you can.
I
So,
wonder how much research they actually did before they finally said, "Hey, someone taste test this."
um, okay. That said, what they awaken in the canon is whatever Clover species is. This is a baby version, a young version, a lost child. When he comes up into the surface in Manhattan, the director, and they said they filmed it this way. He's like, he's not thinking like Godzilla, where he's like just coming out breathing fire, trying to destroy everything. More like a scared child lost, looking for his parent, and then suddenly being attacked by like different things. The destruction's more like a lost child just not knowing where the hell he's at and all that. Which, if you're Clover and you've been in the water the entire time and you're waking up and now you're in this weird city, yeah, but maybe he gets more angry as the movie goes on. As he gets attacked, he gets more angry. I'm guessing.
Well, of course, wouldn't you get it? Wouldn't you get angry if someone starts shooting a tank up your ass?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah. So
also here, so Clovey, our Clover is apparently both amphibious, but also a mammal because it can breathe regular air, not just water. So it has both gills and lungs.
yeah, it's you know, it still may be. It's still a possibility. Even though it's a sea creature from the water, it could be a thing where it still originated from something coming from a different planet. So it's pretty flexible to become from the water there and all that. So I don't know. It's very interesting. Um, so there could be, and if you get in the sequel, it's like Cloverfield Paradox. It has an explanation which is really stupid and different. It comes from different dimensions and things like that. So I don't. I'm only going with the canon from the first movie, not the stupid nonsense from
Well,
Cloverfield.
don't worry because we do have a fourth one that has been announced. It's currently just untitled Cloverfield Project. So maybe that will give us a better canon on this on the slushy Yakuza operation because that's what I want to see now.
It's there, man. It's there online. Uh, so okay. So basically, yeah, there's a lot of lore, but it's like it's just not in the movie. So it's like if you just watch the movie, it's one of those things where it's like that's what I'm saying. The story behind everything seems more interesting than the movie itself. That said, basically, I don't like the characters, but I'm happy with all the action scenes. I'm happy with. I think I was telling you like when the damn monster jumps out of the smoke in the helicopter. If you have surround sound on and you haven't seen the movie before, that scares the shit out of you. That, like, is, like, right in your face. I know that you watch it with, like, negative volume, so
I have no choice. My damn TV apparently isn't that good. But
Vic Arcade needs to start coming to my house and watching movies because, like, when I watch a movie at his house, it's like, we gotta be conscious of the neighbors, so it's like, there's, like, we'll be like, "Huh?" So I can
there's
see
a reason
the
why I have to have subtitles.
yeah. So, and the monster, it looks cool. It looks different from other monsters. It has a
Well,
weird look, but also a freaky look, a very scary look, I would say.
well, I will say for me, so that was a decent jump scare. What you mentioned, it didn't make me jump, but it was decent.
It was great.
But
It was better than a scare and jump scare in Night House, that's for sure. 100%.
hey, the Nothing is a good villain. Okay, but
No, it was a good jump scare, in my opinion.
but one that actually got me, which I don't know if it's still classified as one, is again they were on their that maybe it's because it finally takes you out of that bullshit conversation they were having. But the very first thing that happens is that giant earthquake, like shake, the loud boom. I think all the lights just go out. It's just that one actually got me a little bit.
That so, you back then, so I don't know if you were, like, there with when the first trailer started coming out, right? So, like, I think I saw Transformers in the movie theater, and, the trailer for the movie was so smart. It just showed the first, minute of the trailer is just them showing at the party talking, right? So you're just like, "Oh, like, what is this?" Basically, there's nothing, just them talking to the party, and then the trailer basically ends with just the big explosion, and then it shows the Statue of Liberty head roll in the street, and then it just cuts, and then just has the date of when the movie's coming out. So the trailer was like, you didn't know what the hell you saw. You were like, we didn't actually, you can't even know, you don't even know if it's a monster movie from the trailer. It's just like complete mystery, just big explosion, statue. Now, the one thing I should mention too is that originally they filmed the Statue of Liberty head thing, right? It was actually smaller, and then people complained. There was a big complaint about the trailer because they were like, the Statue of Liberty head is way bigger than what they're showing. It can't fit in the street that way. It's bigger. As it turns out, they did the research and they're like, no, that is the size. The Statue of Liberty head is that exact size. It can fit in the street the way they show it. So
Nice.
people think that they're like, oh, they're like very under exaggerating, like that it would be that small because people are like, the Statue of Liberty head, people can actually walk around in it. Like when it's upright, you take an elevator up, you take the stairs elevator up there, you could actually walk around top. They're like, there's no way it's that small when it fit in the street. But it's like, no, it actually is. They measured it out, like it would fit in the street that way. So people are just wrong about that. They're just like, oh yeah, there's no way the Statue of Liberty head would be able to like just be there in the street. It's like, yes, it can fit.
Well, let's face it. Most people were probably upset about that. Obviously, think they're bigger in other areas as well.
Yeah, but all that said, the marketing campaign was like nothing we've seen in a long time. It was like they didn't even show the title of the movie. The trailer just has the date, and you don't know anything about it. So the movie was hyped up when it came out because the trailer was so cool.
Can we get
Another
trailers like that again? Because I miss trailers that don't show any. I know that it's classified as teaser trailers now, but
Yeah,
sometimes even teasers give away too much.
a damn teaser trailer should be 30 seconds. The teaser
Right.
trailer is 2 minutes long, and then the actual trailer is like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, seriously. Let's just do away with regular trailers. Keep the teasers, but do it right. Like, I know we all know what Return of the Living Dead is like, but I still like the teaser that gave because it was just Tarman carrying, like, dragging a coffin through snow. That is it.
Well, we've talked about this with today's movies. You have to basically, it's tough because okay, you watch a trailer with the idea it's going to make me interested in watching the movie, right? But it has the opposite effect now. Now I watch a trailer, I'm like, I've seen too much. You have to ignore the trailer and just like know that you want to see the movie. Like, I don't want to watch the trailer for the new I Know We Did Last Summer because I'm sure like 5 death scenes are telegraphed already in the trailer. So I'm like, I'm not going to be watching the trailer. Screw that. Um, yeah, you gotta stay away. But this was like if you go on anybody who hasn't seen the trailer for that, go on YouTube, watch a trailer of this, and tell me if like in 2007, if you saw the trailer, you wouldn't be like, I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm interested. Um, Another good jump scare to me was just like in the subway, the turning on the night vision and seeing all the things crawling towards them. I
Yeah.
have like I have a phobia about like
Spiders.
spiders, but for me, the spider things are actually like I think that in person might scare me more than the giant monster, to be honest.
Well, the
Like
giant monster is.
different reactions, but that one feels more like, oh, something that's about to jump on me like that feels different than the monster stomping me. I don't know. For
Well,
me, it
yeah, because
freaks
the
me out.
monster's stomping around, as you mentioned. It's just looking for something. Granted, as people who don't know this monster, we wouldn't know that. But at the same time, it doesn't until HUD. This thing doesn't actively attack anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
If you believe that the what attacks HUD is the same thing. Um,
Well, and to say about HUD, I think that the irony of him being so committed to the camera, I think ultimately that's what got him killed. He wanted to stay and he wanted to get the close up face shot of the monster. And the monster looked down and was like, "You didn't get my permission to film me," and
right.
kills him. But I think if HUD had dropped the camera and ran like the way Robin her did, he'd have been fine. But he was frozen in place, trying to get the classic shot. And I think there was a I think he sort of got what was coming to him just from the idea of like the cameraman had to die because he was too locked in on trying to get the monster in the shot.
Well,
So
hell, yeah, I agree with you. If he would have left it alone, because obviously Rob and Beth came back for the camera.
now they don't show this, but from what's described in the canon, HUD actually got ripped in half.
Yeah.
From Rob's reaction, I didn't it seemed like he's just on the ground. It's like, "Oh, are you alive?" But apparently, Clover, bit him in half, basically. So that's
Yeah,
what we're
see,
supposed to take away, so
and the camera is still not cracked.
oh, yeah. And Rob is like, "Ooh, I gotta take the camera and continue the documentary." I was like, come on, Rob, seriously?"
Now, I will say, because you mentioned, it's like, is it possible that there's two monsters? And I say this scene alone actually gives credit to that because this feels like it's a smaller version of what is currently attacking the town.
Yeah,
Maybe
when
it's just the angle we're looking at it at. Maybe it's
so
hell. For all we know, it's laying down. But
so on IMDb, the director, he basically said that. He said it's the angles. He said there's only one monster. He said they made a point to have the military say, "Whatever it is, it's winning," it being one thing. So there's only supposed to be one monster. The theories would be like, okay, maybe it was the child and the parent. So you have the child on one side of the city and the parent on the other side, and they're trying to find each other. And the parent may be the bigger one, and then we see at the end is the child one. Because you're right, when HUD looks up at it, you're like, wait a minute, you're like that felt more like the American Godzilla thing I was talking about, where it looks like a smaller thing,
yeah,
versus the one you saw from the helicopter seemed like, holy cow, this thing is huge.
I mean, it's the size of a
So
high-rise building.
yeah.
So
So I get it, and that's why there's a lot of theories about that's why I told Nick, because this is the first time Nick watched it, I told him, "When you watch it, try to pay attention because people are putting in a lot of clues, studying the size of the tail and things to be like, well, is there one monster or 2 monsters?" But the official canon is that it's 1 monster, so everything else is just theory. I think it's probably more fun to say there's 2 monsters, but, eh, I feel like the military, somebody would have figured out, there's 2 monsters, there's 2 monsters. They're pretty
well,
sure it's 1 monster, so
well, yeah, but then you also got, where do these little spider things come from? I mean, I'm guessing they're also underwater creatures that I guess attached itself to Clovey.
I thought they were, something from inside of Clovey, like
Either
a
way, it's still like, are they a type of parasite that feeds off of something? Because you mentioned, a certain sweetener. What if again, Clovey's blood is that sweetener, and these things are just feed off of that
I thought I think from a writing standpoint, here's the purpose of them really, I think.
to add extra danger.
Not really any danger. If you think about it, okay, in a city like that, right? If a big monster's attacking you, right? When you go down underground to the subway, the big monster can't come underground to the subway. He just can't follow you there. So it's like if there's nothing down there, you can make an argument that hey, no matter what's down here, we're not dealing with a monster, so let's just stay here and ride it out. So it's like, and it's kind of and at one point they're hanging the subway, they make a plan we have to go do this walk. I think because he's still thinking he wants to get to Tibet, of course, right? But it's kind of well, if we have food, let's just ride it out here. We'll sleep here because we know on the street there's a chance the monster may step on you. But
Right.
if you're underground, so when they're in the subway, it's kind of from a writing standpoint, you're like, okay, there's got to be something down here too that makes them feel like, all right, we're not safe down here either. We have to get back up on. So that I guess that's the idea because otherwise, common sense would be let's just stay down here. But if you're thinking, damn, spider things can get you now, they do a bad job of in my opinion, when the spiders are chasing them, they should never catch them. When the spider jumps on them and attacks them and they get away, it makes the
Mhm.
spiders look not
Weak.
effective.
Well, yeah.
A spider jumps on you and your friends are really able to take it off and it doesn't kill you. It makes it feel well, when
Well,
when the spider jumped on them, was it tickling them? "No, go!"
I,
It wasn't stabbing them, so
I definitely want to talk about that because obviously the spider that attacks Ursula or whatever her damn name is, Marlenia,
Marlena.
Marlena. This is how you know I don't care for any of the characters except Lily. She's the only one I remember.
Marlena.
Especially this shit, because even the scenes where her and HUD finally get
Oh,
some one-on-one time, it's like, I
I feel
don't care what
nothing.
you say, lady.
I feel nothing because it's I don't understand what they're doing. Are they saying that, "Oh, she likes him now?" I don't understand what they're hinting at even, and I
Right,
don't
but
And HUD makes her smile, but I don't think he actually says anything funny, so it's like, I don't understand.
Right, but either way, so you know, she's the only one who allegedly gets bitten.
Yeah.
So she gets whatever venom that they give, and then she pops like a damn balloon. But shouldn't HUD at the very least also have been bitten? Because he mentions they were dragging him down the tunnel.
It's weird because, yeah, if a creature jumps onto you, you would think their first instinct is to bite you as soon as possible.
Especially with Lily, because it was on top of Lily for like 30 seconds before somebody even did something.
These things are like, "Let me attack you and let's have a wrestling match for 3 minutes. Let's roll around and have a struggle, and then I'm gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, I do have the ability to bite you." Like, it comes, like, later on, I guess. Because yeah, if it that was one thing running-wise where I was like, "Well, have it chasing, have the spiders chasing, and they're looking back and chasing them, but don't do a full-out fight scene because then it's like, there's no reason they should have gotten away. The spiders should have
Right.
just killed them right there. So that I think was a fail. The spiders thing, to me, they look scary as hell, but then it's like they kind of do some things where it's like, well, but they're not really that. Not to say
Did
they're
the
friendly,
mouth
but they're not that bad.
did the mouths look familiar to you?
No.
The mouths, honestly, I'm trying to remember. Oh, the Super Trooper aliens.
Oh, see, I don't remember that. Yeah.
So they because the mouths on them looked like long, almost beak like,
Mhm.
with points in, point in, and it goes, opens wide, closes down, like those damn aliens from Super Troopers.
Ah, that's one of those I got to revisit. I saw that movie a long time ago, but I don't remember the
Oh
particulars.
no, not Super Troopers, Starship Troopers. Either whatever that damn movie series is.
I was just thinking, isn't Super Troopers like a cop movie? Like,
Well, we got our interruption.
it had to happen.
Yeah, go ahead. Can I help you?
I don't want to be unlucky first. So.
Look, even she was like, "That's not Super Troopers." What are you talking
What's bad is I'm pretty sure I have it.
about?
Yeah, Super Troopers is the cop. Starship Troopers is the
Starship Troopers, yeah.
yeah. Okay, but either way, they have the same mouths as the Starship Trooper bug aliens. Does that mean this is also part of the same universe?
No, but that's another example where, like, in Starship Troopers, like, those bugs, to me, those are more scary than one big monster. I don't know. Those things crawling around and killing, and those things meant business. They stabbed the shit out of you once they got
Oh
away.
yeah. In fact,
Mm.
there was even one movie where it was an animated version of it, but it was where two bugs grabbed a hold of someone and just ripped them apart.
The one thing to mention too, I guess now I'm thinking about too, when the first attack happens, so everybody goes into the street immediately, right?
Hmm.
We had this conversation a little bit, but I would think the natural reaction for at least half the population would be to lock your apartment door and just stay in your house. It wouldn't be to evacuate the city. Like, they all very quickly get in the street and start making their journey to the bridge. And the cops in the street now are telling them, go, go, go. But I would think that the natural reaction is to like bunker down. Like, do you see yourself just immediately jumping in the street and running away? Or do you see yourself? I see myself probably sitting in my room still and just like being like, well, it hasn't attacked my building, so I don't know. Like, I don't know if my first thing is like get out there and leave the city. Like, I don't
So the
know.
thing is with this is obviously the big creature. After like watching this creature fight the military for hours, the creature's not actually attacking buildings. Yeah, it's big, so it's knocking buildings down because it's running into them.
Not
But
not
the
on
thing,
not on purpose. Just like as it's making its way through the city, it has to happen.
right?
But
So
yeah,
me personally, now if my apartment is like top floor, I wouldn't want to be there. But in this case, I
well,
would rather be in a lower floor.
well, I'm saying all this. We saw what happened to Bet's building, though.
Right.
It
It
did get,
became the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
yeah. You know, what's funny is too, like, so yeah, anytime anything happens like that, the
Also, why
military.
was her building the only one destroyed there?
True. Well, you gotta think like maybe the awkward tail thing, it just as it passed by, hit the building and leaned it over with that.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about, okay, the military, anytime something happens, they're just pushing everybody to evacuate. And I realize now why that is. Because the one danger of staying in the city when the monster it's not the monster itself, it's the it's the
Military.
it's the ending to Return of the Living Dead. It's like
Right.
at some point, the way to win the battle is gonna be like, "Okay, we're gonna nuke the city, kill the monster, most people have evacuated, so we have a small percentage of people that are gonna die, but we've told them to evacuate." So it's like you say in your building, like, "Alright, the monster didn't get me," then you're like, "Oh, the military's nuking the city. We're all dead." And that's basically what happens at the end, essentially, it seems like, so,
Well,
like,
it is, but and we're
that's the
supposed
basic nature.
and judging by the fact that apparently 10 Cloverfield Lane still has running civilizations going on. Granted, if I remember correctly, I think it's also supposed to be a completely different universe from the first movie.
Yep.
But I'm assuming nukes are strong enough to take it out, but tanks and RPGs barely. It pissed it off. It didn't really do anything with it.
The director at least confirmed that it did die at the end.
It did die
So,
at the end. Okay.
it did die at the end. So, basically, the monster is dead. They pretty much I guess they did enough damage to where they put it out finally, but they probably took out the entire city.
Right.
Rob and Beth unconfirmed, buried under rubble, but probably dead.
Most likely.
Um, Lily unconfirmed, she gets away in the helicopter, but
I like to believe she survived because we don't see her after that. We didn't see the creature attack her or
right.
attack her chopper. But can we also talk about why did Clovey just attack the chopper? I mean, I understand it's probably for that cool jump scare shot, but I feel like Clovey would have attacked the tanks before it attacked the chopper. You know, in a sense, to defend itself.
Was well, I think it's
There is
funny.
no reason
Can
for it to
can
jump and attack the chopper.
can you make an argument that the chopper was just coincidental? Like, it was just jumping out to get out of the smoke, and it
Mm,
happened to jump it and think about it, it's like cloud and cloud of smoke, so it's jumping out to try to get away from that, and just happens I guess the other idea of that is the chopper where it's going, you can see Clover down there. Why isn't the chopper
going away.
it had plenty of time to move away. It seems like it's getting closer to the damn action.
Well, that's because HUD's the one with the camera.
Yeah, but the chopper is, like, kinda going in line with where Clover's going. It's kinda like, if you're the chopper, why aren't you, like, just going in the other direction at that point?
I don't know because it looked like Lily's chopper went a completely different direction than where they were being taken.
Yeah, the chopper was, like, doing everything to be like, "Hey, take us out, Clover." Um,
But
so
I
now
think that in that case it's definitely because plot said so. There's no rhyme or reason for that one.
part of the fun marketing, like I said, the marketing was so good. They had all the characters back then. There was MySpace. Before Facebook, there was MySpace.
Right. I remember. I used to have one.
So about a year before the movie came out, they had all the characters create their own MySpace page, like, as the character. And the characters would update their lives weekly as if they were real people the entire year leading up to it. So people caught on. So they're actually, as the movie's coming out, they're like keeping up to date with their MySpace, and it's like posting about their lives and stuff. But the genius is the day the movie came out, all the characters stopped updating their MySpace page as if they all had died on that day. So it's like, ugh. So then, like, so because of that, Lily stopped updating her page. So fans were like, well, she must have died too because the rest of them they stopped updating because they died in the attack. So they took that thing, but I don't think that means anything. But it was pretty genius to do that. Just have them all. The last update was like the day before the movie came out, and then it was like you never hear from these people again. You never hear from them. So but I assume that if there was a sequel, then she could have probably been in it. So
Well, considering the fact each sequel apparently takes place in a different universe. Remember, and Cloverfield Paradox. There's a universe where Clover is damn the size big enough that he breaks through the skyline.
so a lot of people theorize that that would be like the mother. The fully grown version is that, and then what we saw was a child, and then the mother is actually like that tall where it can actually. I mean, that version of Clover can probably take out
The
Godzilla.
world.
This version of Clover, so online, there's always like a Clover versus Godzilla thing, and people have to remember Godzilla is actually like a trained fighter almost. Like Godzilla is like an intentional, like the way he like uses his fire and stuff like that. He's like an assassin almost. So he's not just big. He's actually like a trained fighter who, and the level of his fire apparently can like burn into the Earth's core. It's like that hot. So Godzilla gonna destroy like just another monster who's just like walking around. Godzilla's a monster, but he's also like an assassin with like fire breath.
Well,
But
I think that's because Godzilla also used to be a person in a suit.
no, Godzilla in the Godzilla world, there's other monsters. Godzilla's the king of the monsters. So Godzilla would
Well, that was
destroy.
Ghidorah,
No,
King Ghidorah.
no, I think there's actually a movie called Godzilla, King of the Monsters. um, so basically, Godzilla would destroy this version of Clover. But if Mother Clover is that big, even though Godzilla's a trained fighter, just the sheer size difference might give the advantage to Mother Clover if he's that big.
Well, I
Although,
mean,
again, Godzilla still with that fire can probably bring it down, though. I don't know.
well, I guess the question is because obviously what we see is the baby is not, the baby itself really wasn't all that violent. It was just destroying things because it was there.
Yep.
Do we know if this creature itself is actually a violent creature or if it's just destructive because of circumstance?
So my guess is basically everything Clover does, and from Clover's perspective, is all self-defense. I'm here, I'm walking around, these things start attacking me, I'm swatting back because I'm being attacked. It's all
Oh yeah,
self-defense.
that makes sense.
It's all self-defense. So everything he's doing, he's like, you could make a point, argument that at the end, Clover's trying to get away. He's like trying to get back to the water, and then he just keeps getting attacked while he's on his way back to wherever or whatever. So you can make that argument. So probably they're just normal creatures just chilling, but then if attacked, they have to fight back. So I guess the question would be like, okay, versus Godzilla. If Godzilla attacks it, then it's fighting back.
Right, but what is what is Clover's diet? I wonder. Is it like a whale and just eats a bunch of little things? Because a whale goes up to a school of fish and just swallows them whole.
So the video I started watching YouTube, which really tries to dig deep into its origins, it was saying probably in the water, Clover, one of the reasons it grew was that it was eating sharks and whales. It was probably like eating sharks and whales. So that was part of it also growing to as big as it was. So probably
It
in
had
the
no reason to attack humans because we're too small to actually fill its stomach up.
yeah, and the spider things also weren't really trying to eat the humans. It was just
A
jump on it,
self-defense mechanism.
wrestle, and put you with the venom and stuff. But yeah, I think for example, HUD, if Clover wanted to eat HUD, it could have. But it
Right.
basically it shoot him and spit him out.
Yeah, because it
So
most likely, with everything going on, saw the camera and assumed it was another weapon.
yeah. So yeah, so I guess like so we're it's it so humans are no danger, it's not gonna eat you, so you're no in danger of that. And like I said, it doesn't
Just don't attack it and stay out
don't
of its way.
don't attack, but the problem is you have if it's walking through your city, you almost have to deal with it because it's gonna destroy buildings and kill people. So it's like you gotta deal with it. You can't let it walk through your city. It's too big. By its own nature, it's too big to just let it roam free. But then if you attack it, you make things worse too. So I don't know. I mean,
It
what
would
do
be
you,
better just to go on the subway, let the thing walk by, destroy whatever buildings it is, and then rebuild. That would be the safest option.
maybe try to tranquilize it. Instead of
If
nuke it,
damn cannons and tanks aren't working, what makes you think a trank is going to do shit? You're going to have
tranquilizers,
to.
tranquilizers put down Jason, put down Michael. Them tranquilizers be strong. I don't know. That's a horror.
What you're going to have to do is get Freddy Krueger to somehow invade its dreams and tranquilize the shit out of its brain.
Dude, there's if the government could control Freddy, they would be like, oh my god, we can use this dude to go into people's nightmare. I mean, the U.S. government would definitely be like, we're good, all right. We can whatever dictator we can send Freddy in there and kill him in a dream. So, um, that's what I'm saying. That there's so much stuff with the monster that's more interesting, like the lore and stuff. So I think that ultimately people don't like 10 Cloverfield, right? It's a good movie. I mean, you watched it recently. I haven't watched it in a long time, but
I didn't finish it because I was so tired I would not have been able to pay attention.
people like that movie a lot. But people are like dying for just like a full blown natural sequel to Cloverfield, like the monsters back taking over city. People want that. So that's what people want, like an actual real sequel.
It's weird that they pretty much did a Hellraiser because I'll mention this Hellraisers 5 through 8. The scripts were originally not Hellraiser movies; they were their own thing, and that's what. And from what I understand, that's what 10 Cloverfield Lane was too. It was its own thing originally, with the Cloverfield monsters thrown into. What I
it
don't
is.
understand is with
Yeah.
Hellraiser, it was to save the copyright so the company who owned Hellraiser could keep it.
Mhm.
For Cloverfield Lane, I don't think the copyright would have been an issue. So why just randomly throw the monsters in at the end?
It's lazy. It's basically the idea of like, if we attach a Cloverfield name to it, it's going to make more money at the box office because people are going to go in thinking, "Oh my god, a Cloverfield sequel," but then it's a bait and switch because then it's like, "Oh yeah, so we made the movie. We're going to go back now and film a little bit at the end where it hints at some damn monster." It's like in it. They did the same. The the Paradox one. Again, that's an entire different script, a different movie. Where afterwards, I think even after maybe it was filmed, they go in and they throw in some Cloverfield stuff, some mention, and then they show the monster at the end. So now you can mark it as a Cloverfield movie, but you can tell it's a different movie. It's not nothing to do with Cloverfield. So it's just
Yeah,
the
and
fans don't want that.
I feel like with 10 Cloverfield Lane, if they released it as its own movie without the monsters and all that, I still think it would have at least got butts and seats just hearing Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Goodman in a isolation thriller type movie.
It's just lazy. It's basically like, okay, if you're the studio that owns Cloverfield, right? And let's say they're not making a sequel, and you just made this movie with John Goodman, it's just lazy. You're like, hey, we own the rights to Cloverfield. This movie may make 30 million, but if we just say this is a Cloverfield sequel, maybe make 60 million instead of 30. We own the rights, so just throw it in there. It's lazy and it's just stupid. I and Cloverfield Paradox is just a stupid movie. So that's a mind-boggling, confusing, stupid movie, anyways. So at least the 10 one's actually a pretty good movie by itself. Um, so yeah, if they're working on a new one, hopefully we get an actual return. Some people though, I do want them to do something different though. Some people were like, okay, HUD was filming in the movie, like on the bridge. HUD with his camera, he filmed somebody else on the other side who's also filming. So there's a theory of like, well, should you show the same events from like a different perspective, like someone else who is filming it? And it's like, no, because we already know how kind of it ends.
Yeah.
Like
What
I would,
it should do is just make a. Honestly, I will say this movie did not need a sequel of any means. Yeah, the lore, yeah, learning about the creature and all that would have been nice, but I feel like the conversations people would have had about it at the end of the movie would have been more entertaining than actually watching the movie.
mhm.
Pretty much the idea that the movie put in their heads, in a sense, is better than the movie, which
Oh yeah.
a lot of movies go for that kind of thing because then it makes people rewatch the movie to try and come up with other theories, come up with possibly find new clues to the monster.
I guess it's the idea of like, is it better to like explain everything or to? It's always more interesting when it's not explained because then you as a fan have to come up with your own theories. If they did a Cloverfield 2 where they explained everything, does it? Yeah, does it? Is not the? It's not as good as just going back and watching the first one and being like, "What the hell is this about?" That said, I mean,
Especially since sequels can ruin the previous movie.
yeah, but people always like a good monster movie. So it's like if you can just do it right, let's say the sequel improved the characters, had better characters. Nowadays,
And
probably it would have like a bigger budget too for the effects they want to do. It wouldn't have to be found footage.
bring back Lily so we can prove she's still alive.
I mean, that's like I'd have to see if the actress is still acting even. I mean, so one funny thing about the actress is that with the movie when they signed up for it, they weren't given the script. They were just told that it's a J.J. Abrams movie who was like a famous producer director at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, the girl that plays Marlena, she thought she was signing up for like a romantic comedy. So when she got the full script, she was like, she said publicly, she was like, I'm never like agreeing to a movie again before I get the script. they didn't know they actually didn't know it was a monster movie they were signing up for, a lot of them, so very interesting that they signed up like that, so
You know, I wonder what kind of bullshittery we would have gotten if they still didn't give them the script. It'd be like, act like how you think this movie's gonna go. Like,
oh,
like the girl acting like she's in a romantic comedy, and then all of a sudden the monster shit happens. Imagine the shock on her face it would have been.
so they do that for scenes sometimes. Sometimes there's scenes where, like, the director will not tell the actor what's gonna happen exactly, and then they want a real like, I think there was one Friday 13 movie where, like, I think it might have been the first one where she's finding all the dead bodies,
Mhm.
and then
Alien's actually a famous one because they didn't tell any of the cast except for the obviously the person who had to wear the prosthetic for it
yeah.
that of the alien burst, the chest burster scene. They didn't tell any of the
Yeah.
cast except for the person wearing that prosthetic.
Yeah, it was something in Friday 13 where it was like, they just told the actors, like, "We'll open the door and then walk out," and then she didn't know when they opened the door that a dead body was gonna be hanging there. So it's like, to get the genuine reaction, so but I don't know if you could do a whole damn movie that way where it's just like, "Okay, action, just react to whatever's happening." It's
I
like
mean, to be fair, Blair Witch Project actually kind of was that because they didn't exactly have a script. They told the person where to go, and I think they even told them where to train the camera towards.
yeah.
But like
The
the
di the
scene where
dia
they were running at
the
night,
di dialogue was all basically improv. There was no,
yeah,
like
like the scene where they were running at night because something happened. The girl was supposed to aim the camera to a certain spot, which was going to show some. Allegedly, it was supposed to be like a guy in long johns, but you know, because it's night, all you would have seen is this white thing kind of coming at him. But the camera never actually went that way, and they didn't refilm it or anything. They just went along with it.
that movie's so interesting to think about how much the actors knew versus what was just like it's really interesting to see how they felt because, like, yeah, that's like basically like take the camera out in the woods. We're gonna put you in a direction, but we're not gonna tell you like what you're gonna see and just react to it. It's very interesting to think about that.
Like apparently, when they finally find the cabin, the actors that were still left didn't know about that cabin.
See, as the actor, and I guess also too, it's one of those things where it's like they're in the woods and like the production people are there, but they're hiding.
Yeah,
So they're like, we don't want the actors to see us like making the movie here. So it's like, as an actor though, I'd be scared. I'd be like, I was like,
Bef-
I'm like, I at certain point I'd be like, okay, is this a part of the movie or is there a damn witch out here?
well,
Because
the
it could get confusing, honestly.
well, the even funnier thing I've read about that movie is apparently one of the actor that disappears halfway through. He originally was supposed to be in the whole movie. He was supposed to be the one that eventually got stuck in that corner at the end.
Hmm.
But the producers decided, since the actors already knew that section, the producers decided to go up to the person who wasn't supposed to disappear and make
Ah,
him disappear.
interesting.
So
Wow.
that way when like when that one guy had that reaction of what the hell's going on? Where is he? You know, that was actually genuine because he's like, I was supposed to be the one to disappear out of this damn movie.
The end of that movie still freaks me out, but I digress. We don't want to. We'll save all this for when we actually do Blair Witch Project. Getting back to it, if you do a sequel where you have better characters and you get more into the lore, but don't over-explain things or make the lore stupid, I'm 100% down. I like monster movies. The Godzilla King Kong stuff we get lately, it's almost too family friendly for me though. It's kind of like it's not like it's not really like a monster takes over city type thing the way this is. It's like kind of family friendly type stuff. Like I like just Independence Day, they come and attack and blow up the White House kind of stuff. So I like that kind of destruction more so than what we get lately. So
I will say,
um
um, you mentioned don't make the lore stupid, but do I need to bring back the sushi or the slushy? The slushy juice?
the slushy thing is funny because it's like something so small and innocent could lead to such destruction. Something well tasting, they had good blue raspberry intentions, just completely backfires. All right, all that said, folks, um, You've all seen Cloverfield, so I don't have to tell you to go see it. You've already seen it.
Allegedly,
Everybody's seen it.
I
But
hadn't until last night.
which is really weird, by the way.
Be
um,
fair, I'm not a big fan of creature features. That if after a while they get boring to me because like you once you figure out how the creature operates, honestly, the character should be able to survive it. Like the damn shark in Jaws. I'm sorry, once you know how Jaws operates, don't get in the damn water.
okay, but how's that apply to Clover? He's taking over your city. They don't know how it works, so
I mean, you kind of do. Stop attacking it. Let it get the hell out of your city. Stay underground for a little while.
Nick's saying this. Nick would have got killed in the first scene. So Nick would
Yeah,
have stopped in the first scene.
no, me. I would have went out there with an M16, and then Clovey just backhands me all the way across the damn city. I get impaled on the skyscraper.
Creature features I like. I like it, but I also like with the fly, for example. I've begun to appreciate like the effects and stuff. Like when I was a kid, when watching that stuff, I didn't really appreciate how much work was done on the effects. Now, newer movies, of course, everything's like CGI, so it's less appreciation. But Cloverfield would have still been in a time where it wasn't all CGI. I feel like probably mostly green screen. I'm guessing, but something like The Fly, where like I'm like appreciating like the makeup effects, that I get a lot out of more so than anything else now. So,
Mm.
and that started with like just watching The Thing a lot, and that the practical effects I had to appreciate for that. So,
Can never go
uh,
wrong with a thing.
all that said, folks, if this does happen to you, I would say don't go back for the girl unless like it's actually like you're actually like with her. Like I don't. She kind of broke up with you at that point, ish, or you were never even together. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah, don't go back for the girl. I mean, obviously, I'm married, so I would go back for my wife unless I know for a fact she did. Then I'll
But
just cry out a few tears and then leave. Um,
and also, by the way, I guess the most important lesson in the movie is that, and this is true in all like the ghost movies too. It's like don't be the guy with the camera or whatever calling attention to yourself. You're gonna piss off the monster. You're gonna piss off the ghost. It always happens. They then turn their attention to you. You almost never make out alive. Just be quiet. Be in the background. Don't bring a lot of attention to yourself. HUD, you could have still been alive, but you did too much. So.
I'll also mention if your brother tells you that she is both out of your league and falling for you at the same time, probably best to get him checked into rehab.